Alright guys, after work, July the 14th, 2020 I believe, and we're back in the garage this afternoon to fix my screw up from yesterday and my paint discoloration, or my lack of paint application on the wheel wells in particular. So we're going to correct that today, which means I've got to sand this back down. We'll sand the clear back down with 400 grit. And we'll reapply some base coat and then some clear coat. We'll have to do a little bit of masking back up on the car so I don't get any color or clear or overspray on the bits that I'm happy with. So anyway, we'll break out the sandpaper and we'll fix what needs to be fixed. Alright guys, we've got it pretty much sanded down again with 400 grit wet. There's a few little shiny areas that I need to scuff up a bit more, like that area there, but for the most part it's looking pretty good. A few little touch-ups that I got to do. So we're basically going to wait for this to dry overnight, and then what we'll do is we'll get back out here tomorrow, hopefully when I get home from work, and we'll give this another try at getting some royal blue back here that actually looks okay. So anyway, just thought I'd give you a quick shot of that now that it's wet sanded back to 400 grit, and we'll have a do-over. There it is. We're going to put some light on it this time. Alright guys, pretty much ready to spray tomorrow when I get home from work now. So I've got the rest of the body covered up just to protect from the overspray. And we've got the rear of the car kind of masked up a little bit, up here into here. So that looks okay there. That's about as far as we're going to go as far as the paint is concerned. I really only needed to go to this point here is where the backboard hits, but what the heck, let's waste some paint to make me feel better. So that's what's happening tomorrow night on the agenda. So I've got that cleaned up with wax and grease remover. Right now we'll let that, I've wiped that down, and tomorrow before we paint we'll wipe it down once more with alcohol, and then we'll be ready to spray. We'll definitely get the lights out. Maybe I'll set those up tonight just so as a reminder that I need to use those. So maybe we'll get those tripods set up and get the extension cords run so we can get a better look. So this is what I should have done yesterday. Get a little bit more light on the situation back here. So that should be a little bit better. I don't think they're in the way as far as me painting is concerned. I think I got enough room to move around in. I'll probably get a little bit of shadow stepping in front of the light, but obviously I can just pull back and see what I've missed. So I think that's going to work. Okay, so I think we're ready to go for tomorrow. Wish me luck. Just for all these guys that are asking about how's Les? Where's Les? So here's Les, the magic man himself.
Hey.
Everybody's been asking where you are, what you're doing, how's the project, etc. Well, you got multiple projects? Oh, yes you do. You got Capri projects, you got Triumph projects.
And I got a wife project, tell them all.
Wife project, deck projects. Yeah, work projects. How's it going?
Hot.
Hot. That's what I keep telling them.
I had a cortisone today.
Oh, good for you. Les has been having a problem with his knee too, so that's been slowing him down a little bit. I'd say he's a little bit of a wimp, but whatever.
I know.
Anyway, okay, I'm going to show him my my failed project.
Hey?
Hey?
Failed?
Yeah.
Well, what happened?
Well, we resanded it down.
You did?
Well, part of it anyway.
Well, what happened?
I wasn't happy with it. Couldn't live with it. Slept on it.
Inside or outside?
Right there in the trunk. Anyway, we'll be back. Alright guys, Wednesday after work, and we've picked up where we left off yesterday. We've just wiped this back down with alcohol, and we're now ready to shoot. We're just going to tack it down, tack cloth it down. Temperature's not bad, 85-ish, and about 40% humidity, so not too bad. So we're just getting our paint mixed, and we've got our mini jet, SATA jet ready to go over here. So let's get her done. Wish me luck. Alright guys, just about 8 p.m. and we're out checking the drying of our clear coat. And I'm happy to say that it definitely looks much better than it did before. I'm happy I went to the work of sanding it down and reapplying. Again, we'll have another look at this when the sun is out tomorrow. And one thing I've got to do are the end caps, but the end caps are going to be done when I do this internal piece here. We'll just carry it downwards and finish those off. So that's looking pretty darn good. Happy with that. I can sleep now. So Raptor liner there. I've decided I'm going to Raptor liner the floors. I think that's a good idea considering how much abuse the floors take, and you can see that the floors are fairly pitted. So I think a good coating of Raptor liner will be good on there. Not only for some protection, but also a little bit of sound deadening as well. And we'll do it right up to the footwells. So we'll save the fat mat for some areas like back here on the rear shelf and maybe the rear kickboards. We'll put a little bit of fat mat here and definitely inside the doors. Maybe on the underneath the gas tank area as well, we'll put some fat mat. And then of course the engine bay still looks pretty good. I think it's still okay. So yeah, I think it's coming together a little better. I'm happier tonight than I was yesterday. Anyway, let's just say that. And yeah, so onwards and upwards. Next thing to do obviously is to finish the body tub. So once this dries a little bit more, we'll start with the, we'll probably let this dry a day at least, and then we'll start with the wet sanding again on the rest of the exterior body tub bits and get them painted, and then we can move onwards. So anyway, just wanted to give you a quick update. So things are looking up. Alright guys, Thursday night, got a little bit of rain passing through, cooling things down a little bit, which is good. The trunk dried up nicely, so happy with that now. And payday today, so another trip to the paint shop, another 500 bucks, 550 bucks. I did actually buy some more base coat. I was getting a little worried because the body tub took about almost a half a gallon, if you can believe that, to paint just the interior of the body tub, and that's with redoing the trunk. So I don't know, I seem to use a lot of paint. It's not like I'm layering it on really heavily. Again, in some cases I've got barely any coverage, so you know, this is pretty much 2 coats, and it's pretty, you know, you can pretty much see through some of the areas. So, and I don't have a ton of overspray over anything, so I guess I'm just going through more paint than normal. Anyway, I thought it best, as opposed to stressing out about it, I thought it best just I buy another half a gallon and mix it with what I already have before I start painting the important parts, which are the outside of this car. The other reason I bought it, I may not need it, but the other reason I bought it is if I have an issue, for example, when I go to paint the bonnet, and as you know, I'm doing that sort of, I'm going to call it experimental ghost stripe. If I have an issue with that and I have to repaint it, then I want to have enough paint to make sure that I have the ability to do that. I'm not a good blender of paint, so if I run into issues, generally what I do to fix it is I sand down the entire area and repaint, versus trying to blend, you know, color and clear. So that's why I went and bought another $300 worth of base coat today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine what I've got with the new stuff, and we should be good to go there. I also have decided to, I talked about doing this before, and this was talked about spraying a black sealer prior to my blue. And I've decided, I think that I'm going to do that now on the exterior panels. I'm not too worried about it matching the interior, being a darker shade on the outside. I think this will still be fine, and if not, I can always scrub it down and repaint it if it's that obvious, but I don't think it will be. So I'm thinking that the black sealer is going to help with my paint coverage quite a bit. So we invested in the sealer today as well. So picked up a few other things. What else did I get? Some reducer. I found out that the matrix reducer is very, very expensive actually. It's about $90 for a almost, I guess it's 3.8 liter, 3.78 liter, whereas the Limpco is half that price, not even half that price. So I've gone with the Limpco reducer. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I'm trying to watch my cost a little bit at least, and trying to cut corners, I guess you can call it, where need be. I mean, Limpco is a good, it's made by BASF, and it's a good brand, so I shouldn't have an issue from a reducer perspective. I mean, people just buy universal reducers, so there was another one that was even cheaper than that, was just a plain metal can that said reducer on it. I didn't actually go that low, but I've cut my reducer cost in half. So we are making budgetary cuts to the project, let's say. Anyway, a few other things I bought, some more spray gun cleaner, and a few other little things, some mixing cups, some masking tape, etc. Anyway, grand total $550. So hope you're not adding it up. I'm trying not to. I know I have an idea of how much I'm spending on the paint and body on this car, and it's kind of shocking, but that's okay. It is what it is. I'm not in the bars. I'm not smoking. I'm not drinking. So I'll spend it on other things like painting classic cars. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. We're just actually out here cleaning the garage up, and we're getting ready to resume wet sanding on the body tub. Tomorrow I won't be able to work on this car. I've got a party to go to, a barbecue to go to tomorrow, so we won't be out here tomorrow working on this, but hopefully over the weekend we can get out here. I don't think the weather is great, particularly on Sunday. Saturday is okay, but it's extremely hot. So I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get out here in the morning and do some prep and possibly some painting. Maybe, I don't like to paint in the evening because the bugs come out, and that'll be a major problem in the garage. So hopefully we'll be able to find a little bit of time over the weekend and try to get the rest of this body tub into paint. We're not far off. We've got some of the sanding done. There's not a lot of areas to sand. So hopefully we'll be able to put in a few hours here and there, get the thing sanded fully, and then masked off in order to paint the exterior body tub panels. That's the plan anyway, so stay tuned. I don't think you'll see this video actually until the actual body tub is painted, so you're going to have to wait a few days. Alright, talk to you later. Alright guys, it's Friday, and we're just getting some sandpaper soaking, some 400 grit wet soaking to start the final sanding on the remaining parts of the body tub that need to go into color. And we're hoping to get this sanded down today so I can get this into color tomorrow before it gets too hot during the day. So that's the plan. I do have some dinner engagements, so I can only spend about 3 or 4 hours out here before I have to go. So hopefully I can get this whole thing sanded down and prepped. It would be nice if I could get it taped off as well, but I don't think that's going to happen. But at least if I can get it sanded, that'll make me happy, and then I can plan to get out here tomorrow and prepare for color before it gets too hot in the day. Alright guys, that's it. Nothing too exciting. Alright, no idea what time it is, but the car has officially been sanded 100% and washed down and dried. So I'm not going to be able to tape it today, but we will get out here bright and early in the morning and wipe this with grease and wax remover and rubbing alcohol, tape it up, and hopefully we'll be able to spray before it gets too hot tomorrow, as mentioned. So yeah, I'm happy I got all the sanding done, and we'll let it dry overnight and shoot it with color tomorrow. Bring you back tomorrow. Alright guys, Friday night, just coming up to 9 p.m. and I thought I'd get out here and do a final wipe down on the car and also start maybe trying to tape it up. It's supposed to be 102 Fahrenheit with humidity tomorrow later in the day, so I'm going to try to get out here early-ish. Probably about 10 or 11 is probably the prime time to paint as far as the weather is concerned, so hopefully we can get everything wiped down, taped up, and ready to shoot by 10 or 11 in the morning. That's about the only window I have for tomorrow anyway to be able to get this done. So let's get cracking. We'll get out the alcohol and so we use my alcohol, 99% isopropyl alcohol, to do my final wipe down. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Alright guys, Saturday morning, the 18th of July 2020, and just coming up to 7 a.m. And we did some masking last night. We got the front masked off pretty much. We're working on the rear now, and then I've got the center sort of masked off just with some masking paper, but I think I'm going to do the clear overlay as well, so we don't get any overspray. I'm not too concerned about the interior, but I'm going to try to protect the trunk at least. And the front, like I said, is looking pretty good. I got to do some more taping here, but other than that, I think that looks not too bad. I'm just hoping that I don't get too much bounce on this when I'm spraying. So I may actually cover this with some paper just on the edges, where I'm going to be hitting it pretty much with the spray gun. So anyway, that's about it. So we'll just continue taping this up. I'll come back once we're ready to spray. All right, guys, it's go time. Wish me luck. So everything is taped off. And again, I hate taping, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm sure I'm going to get a little bit of overspray inside the car, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So first thing I'm going to do is, I think I'd mentioned that I'm going to use a black sealer this time. So first thing we're going to do is mix up some sealer, and we're supposed to do one wet coat of sealer. We're going to use my 1.4 tip on my Satajet gun to do that. Hopefully the sealer will lay down okay. If not, I'm going to be upset. So that will be a crappy day to start the crappy way to start the day. So hopefully that won't happen. We'll stay positive. All right, we're going to wet the floor down shortly and get ready to paint. We'll tack cloth it off. Maybe give it one more final wipe down, and we'll be ready to go. Just creeping up to 80 degrees in the garage, 60% humidity. Like I said, it's supposed to go up to 102 with the humidity today, so we'll try to get this done early. So let's get rolling. Alright guys, black sealer is done, one wet coat. Now we gotta wait 30 minutes so we spray a base coat. Looks like the sealer coat went down okay. I don't see any runs. So we'll let this flash off, and we'll come back and we'll hit it with the base coat. Before we do that, we'll make sure we tack it down, get any dust off of it. And it's been okay. Alright, base coat next. Alright guys, time for base coat. And that fly is still flying around, so it is waiting for my final clear coat to land on the car. Anyway, Chrysler DB9 Night Watch Blue. Four coats most likely. We'll do 3, but probably most likely be 4. Mixed 1-to-1 with reducer, and we're going to go with the slow reducer. Satajet HVLP 1.3 tip. Alright guys, 4 coats of base are done, and I think it looks pretty good. I don't see any runs. We'll see how it flashes off. I've gone around with a shop light to check to see if I've missed any areas. Alright, so next step, clear coat. We'll do 3 coats of clear. We'll be back. Alright guys, ready for clear coat. So we're just going to mix that up. We're using Matrix AG40, which is a high solid clear European style clear coat. Mix 2-to-1. We're just going to tack this off, and then we'll get ready to spray and hope the flies stay away. I've got a whole family in here now, so hopefully they like the smell of blue paint versus clear coat. Keep them over by the bench. Alright guys, just coming up to 6 p.m. and a major milestone accomplished today. So the body tub is in paint finally after a pretty long period of time. And I have to say, from first impressions, I'm pretty darn happy with the results today, especially painting in this garage. which is the world's dirtiest garage to paint in. It seems to have come out pretty well. I do have some overspray to contend with, and I'll show you those areas here. So for example, in here, I don't know if you can see that where the tape line was. So I've got some overspray. So obviously I didn't mask well enough. What I would probably do if I had to do this again, or I will do this again in the future, is I'll probably not only mask, but I'll probably also paper the inside so I don't have any overspray issues like I'm having now. So that's going to take a little bit of effort with a clay bar to get rid of that overspray. No big deal. Again, it's really only these 2 shelf pieces that need to be done. This is going to be Raptor lined. I keep saying that, but just to remind you. But same thing in the engine bay. There's a little bit of overspray on the wells, on the wheel wells, that I'll show you when we get there. But all in all, it came out really well. I'll just give you a quick. I don't know how well this is going to come out in the camera or not, but a little bit of a run here that I'll have to sand out. But I think that might be the only run. And again, I haven't really looked at the car really carefully yet. The saddle piece came out very well. Very little dust on this, which is good. No flies, which is unbelievable. I'm quite happy with that panel. And the legs turned out quite well. I've yet to receive my final inspection from Les. He's the ultimate approval on this. He'll pick out any flaw and point it out to me. Sills turned out really well. I have to say that using the black sealer was a good idea. I should have never second guessed myself from my initial impressions. This piece didn't spray quite as well. I've got a little bit of sanding to do here. I had a little bit of dirt actually fall off this cord that I've got running to this light. So I must have opened the door, I must have had a wind gust, and I've actually got a little bit of dust that blew in here. Some of it's going to wipe off. The rest will have to be sanded out. Again, most of this panel here is covered with a dash pad anyway, so no big deal. These turned out well. All the gutters turned out really well. The exterior of this panel turned out quite well. Again, I've got some overspray issues here on the front. I may need to respray this front panel on the inside, but we'll see. Again, overspray on the wheel wells, and again, I'd probably paper those. Hang on for a sec, I'll just turn that down a bit. Not bad overspray. A lot of it's just actual dust. The front valance came out really well. Again, no runs or anything that I can see. I'm not sure how well this is coming up. It's pretty dark up in here. I really love to be able to roll this outside in the sun and have a look at it, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, again, sills on this side turned out really well. A little bit of a run here on the A-post, no big deal. The sills themselves actually look really good. B-posts look good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. The only area I'm not real happy with are the gutters here. There's a little bit of dry spray in here. I don't know if you can be able to see that or not. It's a little bit of dry spray in here. There's obviously a seal that goes in here as well, so I'm not sure how much that will be seen, but anyway, I might be able to live with that. We'll see. So anyway, there's an overview, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright guys, we'll upload this, and we'll get back out here tomorrow when this is dried a little bit, and we're going to start cleaning up areas that we need to clean up, and we're going to start thinking about doing the Raptor liner in the trunk area, so that's going to be sanded back down. Raptor liner applied there. We're going to Raptor line the floors on both sides, and then we're going to touch the Raptor liner up under the nose here, and then we're going to also touch up the black bits here on the body that have any overspray. We're just going to give those a quick touch up as well. So we'll have this looking better over the next couple days once we get all the overspray cleaned up and all the areas re-blacked. That'll make this car look much better. So that's it for now, guys. I'm happy. Like I said, big milestone.